मूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam. Yoga has become a billion-dollar industry, incorporating everything you can think of from animals to food, and everyone is looking to get their share, be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. However, yoga is much more than a fitness fad or a lucrative marketing strategy. Some people practice yoga to build a strong physique, for the healing of an ailment, or for relieving stress and anxiety. However, throughout the years, the source of yoga, which is Hinduism, has been lost and the entire science has been diluted. Many of the traditional yogic asanas and their contexts have completely disappeared from mainstream practice. Yoga is not just about asanas, but aligning the body to the cosmic geometry and experiencing the various states of consciousness. To miss this context is to miss the whole purpose of yoga. But how many people know this? The strong marketing wave of secularization of yoga is making many spiritual gurus to make statements such as, yoga has nothing to do with Hinduism. So what is the truth? Does yoga have a religion? Welcome to KAILASA's Nithyananda Rudra show, and I am Sri Nithyananda Maharaj, and today we are going to address a very important question about the source of yoga and the extent of dilution of yoga. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully says, I tell you, the moment you bend your body for Surya Namaskar, you are a living Hindu. And even the moment you decide to do yoga, yoga means what? It has already two presumptions. There is one, cosmos, and second, that you are a jiva with multiple lives and you have to unite with the cosmos and reach the oneness. That is yoga. So the moment you start practicing yoga, you understand the oneness, you understand the multiple lives, and you decide to be and the extent of dilution of yoga. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully says, I tell you, the moment you bend your body for Surya Namaskar, you are a living Hindu. And even the moment you decide to do yoga, yoga means what? It has already two presumptions. There is one, cosmos, and second, that you are a jiva with multiple lives and you have to unite with the cosmos and reach the oneness. That is yoga. So the moment you start practicing yoga, you understand the oneness, you understand the multiple lives, and you decide to become one with that cosmic oneness. So the basic ideas and truths of Hinduism is part of the yogic physiology. Patanjali speaks siddhis as destruction for enlightenment because the methodology he provides is when you're traveling towards enlightenment, you will manifest these powers. That is the science based on what Patanjali is offering. There is one more science by Paramashiva much before Patanjali called Shashtanga Yoga. In Yogapada, their siddhis manifest from the space of oneness. They are not siddhis anymore, rather they are shaktis. They don't manifest on the way to enlightenment, rather from the space of enlightenment. So the science that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving to all of us is from that Yogapada of Paramashiva. The more you experience oneness and enlightenment, the more you manifest powers. And in today's session, all of you are going to see this beautiful power manifestation happen right in front of your eyes. Patanjali, Paramashiva gives a structure called Shashtanga Yoga, and Patanjali gives a structure called Ashtanga Yoga, whereas both lead to enlightenment. Paramashiva has delivered it in the Agama 60,000 years before. Patanjali is actually a disciple of Bhagavan Paramashiva, and he delivers it in the way he understood and the way his generation needed it when he lived. What was the need of the people? For them, he delivered it. In the Agamas, in the Yogapada, Paramashiva very clearly describes. So the Shaktis don't stop somebody from reaching enlightenment, and they manifest only if that person is rooted in this enlightenment state. The tradition we all are following, that we have been taught by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the tradition from the Agamas of Paramashiva. It is based on the Upanishads, which is practiced as Agamas. It is not Siddhi, whereas it is Shakti. And it is not before enlightenment, it is after enlightenment. It is not towards the oneness, it is from oneness. It is not of enlightenment, it is from enlightenment. What the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is teaching is from the original Agamas, the Yogapada, the science which very clearly declares Paramashiva or Paramashivoham, that I am Paramashiva. Paramashiva is very clear. Manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Paramashiva, not the other way around, to experience oneness with Paramashiva. Whereas over the years, Patanjali's system became popular, whereas Paramashiva system did not become popular for various reasons, because the main reason is that Paramashiva system of yoga needs someone who's grounded in that Shashtanga yoga, who manifests Shaktis, and all of us are fortunate to have the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as that one who is able to make us experience the Guru-disciple parampara, who is able to experientially give yoga in the way that we can directly manifest it from the space of enlightenment. With Patanjali's yoga, you can just pick a book off a shelf and you can just read it by yourself, and it's more like a user manual where you can practice these asanas and the other components the way that you want. And one negative aspect to this is this sort of yoga is not monitored directly by the Guru and can directly be hijacked. But Paramashiva system needs a basic requirement of initiation by the enlightened Guru. It needs the Shaktipada, initiated and trained by the enlightened master. So naturally, the requirements and prerequisites did not allow this yoga to be mass circulated, rather gave a very systematic, foolproof method for you to experience yoga from the authentic source and receive the enlightenment experience from the yoga. Let us now take a look at a beautiful clip from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on this initiation-based yoga.
You need to know one important truth. It will be very shocking, but I need to tell you. I met an elderly sadhu who was considered to be the great spiritual being. When I went near and served him, I realized he is really a great spiritual being. One day I had the great opportunity of pressing his feet after he had his night dinner. I was doing Padaseva to him and I asked him how to start the spiritual practice. What is the right way to start? He said, he made one statement. Still I tell you, if I have to make one statement, if I have to carve one statement in golden letters, I'll carve this statement, keep in the entrance of our Sadashiva temple. He made this statement, understand in spirituality, where you start, you will remain there forever. So start in the right place. Understand, in spirituality, where you start, you will remain there forever. So start in right place. The beginning Shaktipada should be very clear Your divinity merging into your humanity is your yoga, not your human side merging into your divine side. Understand? If you start as human, you will be ever human. If you know it is going to be from here to there, you will ever be this side. The beginning belief, the first cognition, initial inspiration and initiation, understand, that plays a major role. Unfortunate are those who are taught the whole yoga from the context of man to divine. No, you will never reach. If real yoga, understand, Mahadeva describes in Agama real yoga, an initiation into yoga. He explains the context of Vedas in Agamas, not essence of Vedas in Agamas. Context of Vedas in Agamas. Rishis ask, what you want to convey through the Vedas? What is it you want to do it? Make it through Vedas. For that question, Mahadeva answers Agamas. Not what is the essence of Vedas or what is the sara of Vedas. No. Context of Vedas is Agamas. Understand? He says very clearly, it is divine landing on the man.
Yoga is rooted in Hinduism. The fruits of yoga is for the whole world, but the whole world should know that yoga has a religion. Ayurveda has a religion. Many Ayurveda medicines will not work for you unless you have the powerful cognitions from Hinduism. It is true. Take someone who believes in the principles of Hinduism and somebody who doesn't. Give Ayurvedic medicine to the person who believes in Hinduism and a non-believer, and you will see that the Ayurvedic medicine will work miracles on the person. It is because when you believe in Hinduism, your brain has the subtle grooves fully awakened, and the Ayurvedic medicine works on that part of the system which gives the command to your body to heal itself. So whether yoga or Ayurveda, it is rooted in Hinduism and they have a religion. Don't call Ayurveda as Indian medicine, call it Hindu medicine. It works 100% more effectively for a person carrying belief in the Hindu principles. Let us see a beautiful clip by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who expands more on how the science of yoga and Ayurveda interlinked with Hinduism.
I am not interested in the overnight organizations, this modern day art of jinging, art of dunging, art of bunging, jing yoga, jung yoga, bung yoga. The overnight popular theology light. Ooh, laugh, love, little jing, jung, dance. No. I am interested in reviving the authentic, ancient, most authentic Hindu enlightened civilization. I am interested in building stone temples, which may take my whole life, but which will be there till the sun and the moon is alive. Sun and the moon is alive. Understand? I am not interested in building something today and
enjoying my life and packing off. No. I am interested in building something which may take my whole life, but which will be there till the life of planet Earth, the humanity, till the life of humanity. If I am interested in enjoying my life, long before I would have settled in one place. I am after all now 42. I would have planned and strategized just to go with this theology light, go along with the flow, just to teach some jing jing, jang jang, little yoga, little meditation. Oh, you can chant anything you want. All gods are one and the same. All religion one and the same. Oh, nothing is wrong. Yeah, it's okay. Come on. And just sing little and dance little and be happy. And I could have done that drama easily and had huge wealth and followers and great name by the secular liberal media, would have promoted me and celebrated me all over the world as the peace ambassador, and even would have recommended my name for Nobel Prize. Yoga is secular, yoga does not have a religion. If all these ideas I also peddle and market, and spirituality does not require religion, all these ideas, if I am also peddling, I would have been celebrated by the Indian secular liberal media cult. I am not interested in that. I will be integrated, absolutely integrated to my gurus, Guru Parampara. Yoga as religion, it is from Paramashiva, Veda, Agamas, rooted in Hinduism. The fruits of yoga is for the whole world, but the whole world should know yoga is rooted in Hinduism, yoga as religion. I am telling you, Ayurveda as religion. There are many Ayurvedic medicines will not work for you unless you have the powerful cognitions of Hinduism. I am telling you, it is true. Somebody who believes the Hindu principles and somebody who does not believe the Hindu principles, for both give the Ayurvedic medicines and see, you will understand what I am saying. The person who believes Hindu principles, he will absolutely recover using Ayurvedic medicines. Ayurvedic medicines will work miracles on him. Because when you believe the Hindu principles, your brain as its subtle grooves fully awakened. And those Ayurvedic medicines work on that part of your system which gives command to your body to heal itself. So whether yoga or Ayurveda, rooted in Hinduism, yoga as religion, Ayurveda as religion. Don't call Ayurveda Indian medicine. Call Ayurveda Hindu medicine. If Ayurveda works same way for a person who has Hindu belief system and secular belief system, you can call that as an Indian medicine. I don't have a problem. But Ayurveda is fundamentally Hindu medicine. It works 100 times more intensely for a person who carries the Hindu cognitions and belief systems. Be very clear. I am talking about the fundamentals of Hinduism. And I am serious and responsible for what I am talking.
That was a beautiful clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was sharing how Ayurveda, yoga, and all are all from Hinduism, and is something that we should be proud of us about as Hindus. For most yogis around the world, the enlightened master Patanjali is the father of yoga. He presented a system called Ashtanga Yoga, comprising of 8 dimensions of yoga, and this was approximately 3,000 years ago. But little do we know that yoga was revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva himself, and who is the first and foremost guru, the Adi Yogi, who revealed Shashtanga Yoga over 60,000 years before Patanjali. Bhagavan Paramashiva reveals Shashtanga Yoga in the Kiranagama, in the Yoga Pada, one of the original authentic scriptures on yoga. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, is the 1008 incarnation of Bhagavan Paramashiva and has revived Shashtanga Yoga through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga is the essence of the best of the millions of yogic scriptures available from all the sampradayas of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. All the Vedagamic traditions are all encapsulated inside the Nithyananda Yoga experience. Bhagavan Paramashiva, who gave these to the world as superhuman powers or shaktis through yoga. And these scriptures reveal details about hundreds and hundreds of different shaktis that can manifest through anybody, and how these actually were a day-to-day lifestyle. Some of the 3 truths about yoga that we're going to look into now. Yoga is from Paramashiva. The first thing you need to know that yoga did not originate from Patanjali. Patanjali is more like an organizer, not the originator. That's the first thing you need to know. But with all our respects to Patanjali, who is a great yogi himself, who has done so much of contribution to the world, we want to declare the truth to the world that at least thousands of years before Patanjali, being awakened, walked on the planet Earth, the Adi Guru, Bhagavan Paramashiva, was the founder and father of the yoga system. And finally, yoga is from Hinduism. The important truth that we must understand is yoga is from our scriptures. It is from our tradition. We need to understand yoga cannot be developed or it cannot be separated from Hinduism. It is a perfect system that has revealed that was revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva and further organized by different living enlightened masters and the disciples of Bhagavan Paramashiva over thousands of years with a clear purpose and a vision. Yoga is a complete science that has taken into account all the bodies from past, present, and future, and yet to come also. Means that whatever body you may have, whatever body type you may have, it doesn't matter if it is the only most unique body type in all of time. It doesn't matter. All that it matters is you're alive and you're breathing. You can do yoga. And that is the way yoga has been created by Paramashiva to cater to every single type of individual out there. And it doesn't matter what kind of body you have. You can do yoga and experience all the dimensions of yoga that Paramashiva reveals. And altering yoga is not a development, it is a dilution. Yoga is the science of radiating enlightenment. The third most important truth that we must understand is yoga is not just the science of keeping you healthy. Yoga is the science of radiating enlightenment. It penetrates into every aspect of your life. And many people who practice yoga today may find that this benefit is actually there as soon as they find themselves having a different breathing pattern, having a new posture, having a new outlook about what is their body, how their body can heal itself, or how their body can cope up with injury. When all of these ideas are coming from just one component of yoga, people are able to experience that there is higher possibilities that they can experience from their body and their mind. So yoga is the science of radiating enlightenment. Yoga is not just the ability to stretch your body, it is the ability to manifest what you want. Yoga is not all about making you a better man. Yoga is about making you Superman. And that is why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is again and again telling us that it is from enlightenment, from the space of super consciousness, that we conduct our lives when we have yoga as a part of our lives. And this is always important to understand, that the Guru and his initiation is what do it all. And a beautiful example, this how the Raghupati Yogi, the Guru of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, taught the Supreme Pontiff yoga, it was just initiation based. There was no formal sitting in a class or teaching. It was in the beautiful setting of the Arunachaleshwara temple. And just like that, every day morning, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism would say that his Guru would just give him a hug. And after giving him that hug, immediately whatever the Guru was able to say, put your body in this posture, do this, everything was possible. That's why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism again and again tells us the importance of Guru and the importance of having your Guru and getting initiation by him, because what you thought was possible by you or impossible by your body is then possible just by the grace and the presence and the initiation of the living master in your life. And all of it is designed to experience oneness. Advaita expresses all the mystical powers outlined by yoga. Advaita is literally from the space of oneness with the cosmos. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is very clear that Nithyananda Yoga is not a new brand or a new development on yoga or any of these diluted forms of yoga that you see in the world, but Nithyananda Yoga is the authentic yoga from the Shastras, how he received it from his yoga guru, who hails from that same lineage starting from Paramashiva. He hails from that same lineage, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing it out as an authentic form and bringing out like an explosion into the yoga world, having 12 different components that you can explore into yourself. People won't even understand how multi-dimensional way we can exist until you practice Nithyananda Yoga. So we have a short clip for you all to watch to learn about Nithyananda Yoga and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the authentic yoga tradition.
Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. I wanted to make it very clear. We are very happy to share this whole knowledge to the whole world. We are very happy to give these fruits. But very unfortunately, the appropriation and misappropriation of the yoga is happening all over the world. Not only some of the Western yoga gurus, even Indian yoga gurus have started telling, yoga has nothing to do with Hinduism or India. I am shocked. This book is a strong response to those claims. Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. Whether you accept or not, terrorism as religion, everyone knows. Same way, yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. Practicing yoga, or a studio practicing yoga, or the group practicing yoga, do you want the original source book of yoga from the founder of yoga, Sadashiva? Please understand, Patanjali revived yoga, but Sadashiva is the founder. Agamas are the founders. Agamas are the earliest record of yoga literatures available. So, if you want the compilation of everything available about yoga from the Vedas and Agamas, this book is free for you. Already the e-copy is uploaded in the internet. You can download. If you send an email, you will get a hard copy wherever you are from. Anywhere in the world, we will ship it free. It's for you. And you can download the link of this book. If you go to the website called innerawakening.org, Nithyananda Yoga. And if you want all the 3 terabyte material we have collected till now, we have a website called Hinduism Now. Go to that website, you can download all 3 terabyte material. All the agamas and yogic literatures, we have classified Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramanas, and we have clearly classified and presented everything we were able to collect, and still we are collecting. This is my humble offering to Vedamata and Sadashiva. We are planning, we will be distributing 1 million copies of this book freely. Make the world understand yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. Understand, in Vedic tradition, knowledge is free. That is the greatness of Vedic rishis. But don't try to tell it is not, it doesn't belong to them. That is the worst thing happening. They take everything, appropriate, misappropriate. They give their own names. Chak yoga, chik yoga, chak yoga, jak. All the names. Finally, the extreme violence is claiming it has nothing to do with Hinduism and India. Please understand, this book is the need of the hour to assert we are happy to give this gift to the world, but it is rooted in Hinduism and India. So the statement I want to make through this book is yoga has religion, it is Hinduism.
Nithyananda, that was a beautiful clip by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And let's now enter more and more into the source of yoga. The Vedagamas, the source books of Hindu, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the revelation from these Vedas and Agamas form the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural authority on truth which came down directly from the mouth of Bhagavan Paramashiva to his consort, Devi Parashakti. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully reveals that the Vedas are the ultimate superior authority for Hindus. Vedas are like pure science, where the ultimate truths are explained, but Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. All the Hindu bodies accept Vedas and Agamas as Shruti, and everything else follows as Smritis. Agamas are directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva. They're more like a practical manual on how to, what to, where to, when to. All these details are answered with the right context, giving enough of understanding and more in a sympathetic, compassionate way, with a lot of concern for human beings with tremendous user-friendliness. I have a beautiful Shastra Pramana for all of you from the Karanagama Yogapada, chapter 2, verse 3, which beautifully says that through the practice of yoga, one can attain beneficent accomplishments. He can attain liberation. He can ascend to the state of ineffable bliss. Yoga is not just postures and breathing techniques, but the very science of achieving the space, radiating the state, and manifesting the powers, the Shaktis of the original yogi in the universe, Paramashiva himself. Authentic yoga makes people manifest spiritual powers from Advaita, the space of oneness or enlightenment. KAILASA's Nithyananda Yoga, as revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, combines all the pramanas in Hinduism. The Shastra Pramana, which is the source scriptures, the Apta Pramana, which is the experiences of all these Vedic rishis, and the Atma Pramana, which is the direct experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, precisely reviving the space from which Paramashiva created this science. After being subject to years of dilution and pollution of this sacred science, the most profound initiation and context of yoga is now being revived and transmitted as a tangible experience by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Paramavatara of Paramashiva himself. So Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga is hence all about producing this spiritual, the experience of Paramashivatva, the state of Paramashiva, his qualities, his glory, his grace, and his powers in all of us. Let us now take a look at the beautiful clip from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where we understand deeper into how yoga is from the authentic roots of Hinduism.
Whatever I am saying now,
I am responsible. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva, not on the way to experience oneness with Sadashiva. Patanjali declares all these siddhis are experienced on the way to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So they can be distraction to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Sadashiva very clearly declares these are manifesting in his tradition. See, each tradition has a structure, a separate architecture. Separate architecture. You may be surprised, in Shashtanga, Sadashiva talks about different ways and he explains the pranayama pratyahara in a totally different context. So the whole structure is different. There he says very clearly, these powers start manifesting from experience of oneness. Means after the Nirvikalpa Samadhi they start manifesting.
But the Patanjali system became more popular, at least nowadays.
See, Patanjali system became popular, Sadashiva's system did not become popular for various reasons, because the Sadashiva system needs somebody who is grounded in that. It comes more with the Guru-disciple parampara. Patanjali, you can just pick up a book on the shelf. You do not need a guru. You don't need to read Sanskrit. You can be very proud about you don't know the Sanskrit language. And it can be easily hijacked.
Yes.
But the Sadashiva system needs a basic requirement of initiation by enlightened guru.
Shaktipat. So
Shaktipat. Shaktipat, initiation and training by an enlightened master. So naturally, the requirements and prerequisites of this tradition did not allow this tradition to be mass circulated.
Which is very good actually. It protects it.
Good or bad, that is one. Yeah. This is the reality.
This is the reality.
This is the reality. But just because Patanjali's system has become popular, no one has a right to say, other than that, no other thought current exists.
Right.
And anybody who manifests these extraordinary powers is only expressing siddhis, and that will distract people from enlightenment. The whole thing is irrelevant when you are in the path of Sadashiva's as per Yogapada of Agama, because here whatever is manifested, there is no concentration or any mind game used. It is from the oneness expressed. They are not siddhis, they are shaktis.
Beautiful clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing again and again Hinduism and how yoga is from Hinduism. Let us look now into some of the miracles and contributions in yoga that the Supreme Pontiff has given. Actually, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is like a typhoon when it comes to yoga, because he has literally given so many breakthroughs in the yogic sciences and just bringing them out, and it giving a tsunami of information for everyone. Really, when it came to Kriyas, was the reviver of 108 scientifically validated combinations of postures, movements, and breathing techniques that targeted 100 major diseases or disorders such as diabetes or arthritis, blood pressure, and different autism, and so many things and solutions where people today are looking for, like people who want to reduce weight, people who want to gain weight, who want to gain muscle. So many ways that the people are looking for health benefits. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought out 108 scientifically validated kriyas. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is periodically training yoga practitioners as yogacharyas. Literally, being an acharya means you come from that very space of Paramashiva and you teach yoga. And that initiation and process, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given that to the world so that they revive authentic yoga, the authentic science of Nithyananda yoga to the whole world. And he has also revived the ancient art of pole yoga or Shivastambha yoga and rope yoga, the Kundalini Rajju yoga, in which yogic asanas and postures and weight balancing techniques are performed to create a yogic physiology, aligning it to the cosmic geometry that manifests superconscious powers. And all of us have experienced many times how the Shivastambha yoga, literally doing these yogasanas on top of a large wooden pole, and then Kundalini Raju yoga, where you climb a rope and on the rope itself do yogic asanas in a very safe and enhanced way. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has received actually 2 Guinness World Records for the largest rope yoga, Kundalini Raju yoga done, and the largest pole yoga classes. So he has done the largest classes in the world for both Kundalini Raju yoga and Shivastambha yoga, bringing worldwide attention to these extraordinary forms of yoga. And we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not stopping, bringing out every kind of yoga form that is there inside the thousands of sampradayas of Hinduism. And he's received this Guinness World Record on the 30th of September 2017 for the Kundalini Raju yoga class. And on the 3rd of October 2017, he has received the Guinness World Records for the largest pole yoga or Shivastambha yoga class. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also received awards from the Asia Book of Records and the India Book of Records in 2021 and 2022 for the maximum number of asanas performed in 1 hour, and also the largest number of people performing Padmasana sitting for the longest amount of time. And these are all published in all of our social media and all of our websites. And we have also seen that he is bringing out the original ancient 1008 Hindu scriptural pieces of evidence on yoga, proving again and again to the world that yoga is from Hinduism, and with original scriptural Sanskrit verses and English translation. It is freely downloadable on our Nithyananda Yoga website, and you can go and anybody can revitalize their yoga practice and really understand how to incorporate authentic yoga and have a beautiful experience. Because anybody who knows yoga today knows for sure that there is more to yoga than just the asana or the physical benefit. There is more to it that is transforming many, many people's lives without even knowing it. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the source to help take the world to the next level and give the world authentic yoga and the best yoga possible from Paramashiva. So now we have a sharing by Shri Nithyananda. He's joining us on a video call, and we get to see from him a few of his words and sharings about yoga.
So very important, actually. All those lines that Maharaj delivered, actually, layers and layers is there. One word, when our Lord did the Dakshinamurti, reveals just in one word, it's petabytes and petabytes. So any of these revelations Swamiji has given, there's layers upon layers of revelations and guidance for all of us. So this is really one of the more important points related to the dilution of yoga. So that yoga is not like a Pilates or a physical exercise. So a lot of the way that yoga is being taught is that it will give you some good health benefit, that it may clear up your nasal passages, and that it may help you to sweat. And so we're not saying that that yoga should not be practiced, but one important part, the sort of first point I wanted to share about, is you have to understand is where are you getting your so-called yoga and who is giving it to you? So in a certain sense, it's like if you wanted some kind of a medicine for a certain purpose, you wouldn't wander with a blindfold down the city streets and into some alleyway and hope that what you pull out with your eyes closed will give you what you want. So in the same way, you have to be careful with who is delivering so-called yoga to us. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed 3 kind of people that you will find who are teaching yoga. And First is those who are claiming to teach from their personal experience only. So they're not giving you scriptural references. So you have to actually wonder then what are they giving me? So basically that individual is making their own interpretation. So it would be sort of like if you wanted to take some medicine for a cancer or a treatment or something, and you would expect that has a scientific basis to it, which yoga has a scientific basis. So that individual you cannot say. One of the examples is, so if there's a scientist has a petri dish in a laboratory and they are preparing some medicine for you, then you cannot close your eyes and poke your finger in there and say, I've changed it, I've added my own piece, and now you take it and be healed. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism describes the three people who will be teaching the yoga. And the first is these people who have are teaching from their own experience, but not giving the scriptural references. So that experience may be good for them, but it may not be good for all of us. So this is why we really have to rely on the scriptures, because that science is there for a purpose. Secondly is the people who know only the scriptures, but they don't have the personal experience, like the pundits and the scholars. So they will create less problems than the so-called enlightened gurus who don't abide by the scriptures. Because again, it comes off more as advertisement of if you agree with what I'm showing you, and what result you will get, nobody knows. So we have to be very careful in understanding and respecting the science of yoga as a purpose of revealing your true nature, not just clearing your nasal passage. So the third category of people that will be revealing yoga, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has designated, is the very rare third category, who have a very solid enlightenment experience, who are the authorities and responsible for what they're speaking. Also completely rooted, centered on yogic scriptures. So those are the rare beings from which you should be learning. The personal experience should always be in tune with the experience of the rishis, so that yoga recreates the experience of the aptas, the experienced rishis and beings of the tradition of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. That experience gets reproduced as the Atma Pramana in the living Guru. Then only that can be guaranteed to be passed along to you as your experience Pratyaksha Pramana. So these are the three categories of people that are teaching only from their personal experience, that are teaching only from the scriptures, that will not damage you as much, and the very rare beings that have that experience reproduced in them. So this was the first point I wanted to share, actually. The illusion of yoga is to be very clear of where you're getting your yoga and who is giving it to you.
And also, if you can share with us your experience when it comes to the Western digestion of yoga, how it has come to being completely something different and doesn't even give you the benefits that original yoga can give, and also what are some of the dangers we may think and what people may be experienced because of this digestion.
Yeah, there are a lot of those kind of things. And one of the things especially is with Kundalini Awakening. So you will have things like Kundalini Yoga, or you may go to a yoga studio where the teacher there is doing some sort of spiritual and physical process on you. Well, what process are they doing? So they will tell you to have a sit in a certain way and do your breathing a certain way. They'll put their hands on you and they'll give you specific visualizations. But where is this coming from? So the thing is, one of the gifts that Swamiji has given to all of us is one of the processes we should be aware of is purifying the source of your energy and purifying the source of your fuel, even as a practice of ahimsa, but as a way of detoxifying your system and manifesting shaktis, manifesting yourself. So it's not only the actions that you take, but the energy that fuels those actions. Where does that energy come from? And it matters. And so if someone is doing some sort of self-spiritual energetic process on you, a lot of times they'll use crystals, they'll use different sounds, they'll use different chants, they'll use different scriptures. Sometimes they use Christian scriptures, which in no way is related to any Hindu deity. And so in that sense, cannot possibly lead you to the enlightenment experience of the living Hindu deities. So although we don't always understand it, it's sort of like if you're getting your energy from declaring that you're an eternal being and you're eternally powerful and you're Paramashiva, that is the right context. But if you're getting your energy from alcohol, cigarettes, pornography, etc., that is not the right source of your energy, of your fuel for your life. So that dilution and that poison is going to enter into your system. So that person is not telling you the scripture. Posture is mentioned, and where this process is clearly defined already by Paramashiva, then we don't know what they're getting. And actually, there's a very appropriate term for what is happening. Then it's actually it's an abuse of you physically. It's physical abuse and sexual abuse. If that person is touching you and telling you to move your body in a certain way, is literally is what is happening. So we don't always recognize the power of yoga and the power of Kundalini Awakening, the power of your own consciousness, the power of your own thoughts and your own words, your own visualizations. So we often go blindly into these yoga studios where it may be hot yoga, pink yoga, yellow yoga, or crocodile yoga. But the impact is that this is burning the system into the cells of your muscles, into your biomemory. And that's going to reproduce itself while you're sleeping. So you really should know where you're going.
Also, we should also recognize the power of your guru's initiation. That is also one of the most important things when it comes to being able to teach authentic yoga. And it should be coming from an authentic source, and it should come from an experience of enlightenment that you should have had, that is certified by some guru in your life. And that is something that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing back to the yogic culture, especially today, saying how that it has to come from an authentic source, and it has to come from a scripture, and it has to be given to you in a proper way from the guru. And you should also be having the initiation to teach others from your guru. All of these steps are there in order to be able to give the authentic experience, the correct experience that someone should have from yoga, avoiding all the, as you were mentioning, some of the negative benefits. And it is also true, even yesterday when we were discussing about the body language and how this enlightened masters in Hinduism teach 90% of enlightenment through their non-verbal communication, that is their body language. And especially when you're in the presence of someone who's not enlightened, but they are teaching you something that is very spiritual and something that is very subtle, that needs to be taught in a very specific way from the right space, as you were sharing. So thank you for sharing today and coming on the Rudra show and sharing about your experience in yoga and sharing more points about why it is important to practice authentic yoga. Now we're going to have another special session, and this is something that we have to show as an example to why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as we were sharing, is literally an explosion of information, and not just information, but manifestation of what yoga can do for someone. And one of those is, of course, power manifestation itself, being able to manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva. So just stay tuned for a few moments, and we will now be having a power manifestation with a volunteer.
Maha Paramashivoham experience is literally Paramashiva happening in your aham. Paramashiva manifesting in all is complete Paramatvaita Swabhava, with all his dimension, with all his energy, with all his experience, with all his manifestations, with all his possibilities, with all his powers, he himself manifesting in Paramatvaita is Mahaparamashivoham. Attend this, you will see all of you will experience Paramashivoham and the Paramadvaita.
To this beautiful Nithyananda Rudra show, and thank you so much Sri Nithyananda Maharaj and Sri Nithya Rajananda Maharaj for the beautiful insights on how the Guru is the center of yoga and how yoga is born from Hinduism. And yes, we will be having now the manifestation of these Shaktis. As we saw in the session earlier, Shaktis, like yoga, is what originates from the space of enlightenment. And we also have a volunteer with us, Nithyananda Maya, and we'll be, because we're talking about yoga, we'll be performing the power of body scanning. So yes, Nithyananda Maya, you can introduce yourself.
Wesley Silva. I'm an initiated Balasant of Swamiji.
Wonderful. So we'll be today manifesting the power of body scanning. So you can just sit with your eyes closed or open, anything, and I will be scanning your body with your permission, and we'll be revealing if there's any whatever Bhagavan Paramashiva, whatever Swamiji shows in the third eye, we'll be revealing to you, and you can share on of how that relates with you and how you're able to vibe and relate to what Bhagavan Paramashiva is saying. Charles, sit straight, bring your awareness to your third eye, and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Yes. So Bhagavan Paramashiva revealed two main things which Swamiji revealed in the third eye. One is that your back muscles and your spine is very stiff, and like it is not very flexible. And Bhagavan Paramashiva Swamiji showed to do the Nithyananda Yoga and make sure that the spine is flexible, which will improve your posture and which will improve your day-to-day activities. So that is one thing that Bhagavan Paramashiva Swamiji showed. Second, what I saw through the third eye is there is a slight like the acid reflex which comes from the stomach when you eat certain types of food, and to take the haritaki to smoothen the stomach itself so that these reflexes don't happen. So yes, these are the two things that I saw through the third eye. You can share how that relates with you.
Yes, yeah, right. So yeah, the back muscles, sometimes it does get a little bit stiff after sitting for a while. So that is correct. And also from eating certain foods, I do feel that little burn around the acid reflexes. That is correct. So thank you
Wonderful.
for the solutions.
Wonderful, Aya. And hope you're actually joining us for the daily Nithyananda Yoga that it's happening, which is actually, are you joining for us for the Nithyananda Yoga?
I have been missing the yogas.
Sorry?
I've been missing them.
Oh, okay. Actually, we are having the yoga at 2 times. One is 6 a.m. India time, and then 6 a.m. Eastern time, if that's comfortable, whichever one is comfortable with you. And you can, whichever time is best for you, to do the Nithyananda Yoga every day. As Swamiji says that literally when you wake up in the morning, especially during the Brahma Muhurta time, that's like around from 4 to 6 in the morning, to experience the yoga, to start the day with yoga, and of course the puja and the satsang and the panchakriya, it literally rejuvenates our system every single day and keeps away from one thing is to experience the powers of Paramashiva. Second is for us to make sure that we ourselves in our day-to-day routine are always kept in that higher space of enlightenment. So I invite you for joining us for the Nithyananda Yoga. And actually, very shortly, we're having the darshan of our beloved Swamiji. So you can join in the Mahaparamashivoham also. And today we'll be having the exciting darshan of Bhagavan Sadashiva of Swamiji. So thank you very much, Wesley, for joining us. And let's meet in the further sessions of the Nithyananda Rudras. Thank you so
you.
much. Nithyanandam. Yes, so for all the live viewers watching us live, like I was saying, we're having the live darshan of our beloved Swamiji in the Bhavasamadhi darshan of Bhagavan Sadashiva coming just in a few moments. And I invite everyone to join by the link that you can see right here. And you can join in the live darshan. It is a free live darshan for everyone who can join to receive the darshan and just enjoy in the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, directly be in a Zoom conference with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So I invite all of you to join us for the Mahaparamashivoham darshan coming up right now. And also just a small reminder to all our viewers, we're having the Yoga Day competition, the International Yoga Day competition hosted by KAILASA on the 21st of June. And all of you can submit your videos and be a part of this competition. And I invite everyone to join us in this beautiful International Day of Yoga 2023. And with that, I would like to thank each and every one of you who tuned in and received these beautiful truths about yoga, the history of yoga, the present of yoga, and how you can be a part of the future of yoga. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for the various upcoming Rudras, Nithyananda Rudra show coming every day at the same time. And thank you, Nithyanandam.
I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today's subject, what you have never been told about yoga. Revelations of the revealed scriptures. Listen. Because we see the ocean always from beach, the moment word ocean or sea is uttered, you visualize only beach, not the ocean. Listen. Because you always see the ocean from the beach, the moment word ocean is uttered, you visualize only beach, not the ocean. Same way, because yoga starts from bending the body, unfortunately, the moment the word yoga is uttered, you think it is only bending the body. Ocean is not beach. From beach it starts, but beach is not the ocean. Yoga starts from bending the body, but that is not yoga as it is. Yes, bending the body is also yoga. It starts from there. But unfortunately, you think that is yoga. There is a big difference between bending the body is yoga, bending the body is also the yoga. What you have never been told about yoga? Three major things you have never been told about yoga. First, yoga is not originated from Patanjali. Patanjali is the organizer, not originator. That's the first thing you need to know. Unfortunately, even the great yoga teachers, yoga gurus, yogis, socially acclaimed, respected, revered gurus, yogis, even they think and promote Patanjali as the originator of yoga, father of yoga. With all my respect to Patanjali, I wanted to declare this truth to the world. Please understand, at least 15,000 years before Patanjali, a being walked on the planet Earth, assuming the physical form, just like all of us. Adi Guru Sadashiva is the founder and father of yoga system. There is enough of detailed to insist on this word, detailed description, including the yoga postures and breathing methods, pranayama, kriya. A detailed manuals are available, written directly by Sadashiva. Understand? People who are afraid of the power of Hindu tradition always try to put our valuable knowledge as myth. They try to classify the valuable knowledge as myth. Only a person who has become enlightened and practices can understand the difference between myth and subjective science. Sadashiva revealed all these scriptures is not myth, it is a subjective truth which can stand the scrutiny of any decent researcher, whether in the form of linguistic, if you start analyzing the language, the scriptures available, all the revelations by Sadashiva is called Agama. Means the complete works of Sadashiva is called Agama. If you see the language, it is at least 10 to 15,000 years before Patanjali. And if you see the archaeological evidences, the place where Sadashiva walked, Varanasi, still walking, living. If you see even archaeological researches, any decent researcher, unbiased, straightforward, seeking the truth, will be convinced about what I am presenting. I have enough of material to substantiate the claims I am making, not just my intuition or ability to see the Akashic records. That's only one side. I have enough to substantiate whatever I am claiming. I'll present it now one by one. First thing, you have not been told, you have never been told about yoga. Patanjali is a great organizer, but not originator. Origination, please understand, the source is Sadashiva himself. Patanjali, a great disciple of Mahadeva, devotee of Mahadeva, lived in Chidambaram, organized this whole science, presented it in a very presentable format called Yoga Sutras. Yoga Sutras is a great book, no doubt, but not the first book. There's a big difference. Even the great yogis, acclaimed yogis, very popular all over the world, yoga gurus, always stop with Patanjali. I do not know why. Very few say yoga was before Patanjali. And even if they say, they are not able to present the scriptures and literatures. So understand, yoga is at least 10 to 15,000 years older than Patanjali. Patanjali organized, but not originated. So organizer is Adi Guru, Sadashiva himself. In his agamas, he presents a detailed, elaborate, large manuals, descriptions, and a large quantity of material with high quality precision available, which is directly delivered by Sadashiva. Please understand, knowing the original source and the literatures revealed by the original author is very important to keep the purity of any knowledge branch. Any knowledge branch, whether it is Ayurveda, Jyotisha, Gemology, Numerology, or Siddha, any tradition, any knowledge branch, knowing the originator, father, founding father, his intentions, his revelations, the material revealed by him, knowledge about that is too important to learn that knowledge source, that branch of knowledge. Any knowledge branch will be complete only if the founder's intentions are revealed as it is to the person who is studying that branch of the knowledge. Unless you know the founder of homeopathy's intention and his original text, homeopathy can never be complete for you. Unless you know Varaha Mihira's original sutras, Jyotisha can never be complete for you. Unless you know the Kamigagama, Vastu Padala, the science of Vastu can never be complete for you. Same way, unless you know the Shivagamas, Yogapada, the yoga branch revealed by Sadashiva, the yoga knowledge can never be complete for you. First thing you have never been told is Sadashiva Adi Guru is the source of yoga tradition. Second, which you have never been told, which you need to be aware, always as for original source, any practice you are asked to do, whether it is bending the body, or a specific way of breathing, or a specific visualization, or a specific verbalization, as for the source, original sources are available. Please understand. People who try to declare themselves as a brand of yoga have messed up the whole yoga by creating cat pose, dog pose, tree pose, inverted tree pose, downside dog pose. I am still wondering, when I listen to all these, am I yogi? What is going on with yoga? Understand, it can be used along with Pilates, sports, bodybuilding methods, no problem. But it cannot be diluted. Using yoga along with the sports, along with Pilates, along with other exercise, along with gymming, everything is okay. But it cannot be diluted. Please understand. One of the important truth you have never been told is yoga cannot be separated from Hinduism. It cannot be separated. Dilution is sampradaya droha. Understand? Dilution is sampradaya droha. All of you understand. People ask me, Swamiji, who is the real yogi, from where we should learn? How do we know which is authentic yoga? I am clearing all these doubts and questions once for all today. Understand, even as simple as sitting in Padmasana to as complicated as swallowing 6-meter cloth and cleaning your intestine, everything is described with tremendous precision, clarity, with tremendous accuracy by Sadashiva directly in Yogapadas of Agamas. You do not need any jum jum, chum chum, chick chick, bulbul fellows to develop any of the yogic techniques and methods. Understand, do not believe if some stupid fellow is claiming he developed it from yoga. He only diluted it. Nobody can develop on Sadashiva. Everyone can only dilute Sadashiva. Nobody can develop on Sadashiva. Understand? I am declaring with the authority as living representative of Sadashiva. Nobody can develop Sadashiva. He is complete for the past, present and future. He has seen all the possible bodies happening, yet to happen. We are going to have unique bodies in the near future. In next 40, 50 years, we are going to be having unique bodies, new kind of bodies, whose brain size will be larger, whose subtle grooves will be deeper, the ability to understand and grasp the informations will be more, and who will also be higher genders, who will have the freedom to play with multiple genders. These new bodies are coming. Understand? Sadashiva has created yoga even for the bodies which are going to come in the future. Bodies which were there, which are, which will be. He knows the whole, and he has revealed yoga for the whole. no one can develop on Sadashiva. No one can develop on Sadashiva. You need to know very clearly. There are three kinds of people teaching yoga. One, who claims they are teaching from their personal experience. Crow biryani, kakka biryani, g. Second, who knows only the scriptures, teach only from scriptures, does not have personal experience. Pandits, scholars. I tell you, the pandits and scholars who just teach from the books without having personal experience cause less damage to people than the so-called enlightened gurus who declare they are teaching from personal experience, does not abide the shastras, does not abide by the scriptures. Please understand, this is one of the important revelation I am giving you. These so-called enlightened gurus who does not abide by the scriptures are more dangerous to human beings, humanity, than the people who are abiding just by the scriptures without enlightenment. Because people who are abiding just by the scripture without enlightenment cannot damage you. They may not be able to give you experience, but they can't damage you because they are just following the scripture. Scriptures will never damage you. But the so-called enlightened fellows who don't follow the scriptures, because they get your complete trust and authority, they become authority just by convincing you in some 2-3 things, blowing the nose. And see, when you do the hyperventilation, naturally you will feel little peace and calmness. That peace does not mean you have become enlightened or yes, become enlightened. Pick up a cell phone and talk to your spouse, you will see the strength of that peace. Understand? These so-called enlightened masters who do not abide by the scriptures are more dangerous than just the pandits, parrots who repeat from the scriptures directly. They are, see, these so-called enlightened masters who don't follow the scriptures, who don't abide by the original yogic literatures, they get 1 or 2 glimpses here and there, and by giving those 1 or 2 glimpses, they convince the people and the people start following them. They suddenly become authorities. Once they become authorities, all the stupidity they vomit, you will be following. They can seriously damage your body, mind and consciousness. Very rare are the third category of teachers who have a solid personal enlightenment experience, who are authorities responsible for what they are speaking and completely connected, rooted, centered on the traditional yogic scriptures. Those are the rare beings from whom you should learn. Understand? The Atma Pramana, personal experience, should always, when I say always, ALWAYS in capital letter, huge red color. Always should match with Apta Pramana, the earlier rishis' experience. Atma Pramana should be in tune with Apta Pramana, the individual experience should always be in tune with the original source, the great enlightened masters, the founding fathers of yoga. Please understand. One side Atma Pramana, personal experience. The other side Apta Pramana, the experience of the great rishis. A real guru will have both and present both. Otherwise, if somebody says, I only have my experience, I don't care about the scriptures, shastras, the original source of knowledge, please understand, don't become prey for their advertisement abilities, marketing capabilities, and their immature ego. Don't become prey for their immature ego. So, Atma Pramana, only when it is in tune with Apta Pramana, it can even be shared to the world and made as Sakshi Pramana. Understand? People who claim they had a personal revelation, experience, it may be sometime good for them, but there is no guarantee it is good for all of you. What is good for all of you? It should be the personal realization of your Guru and directly in tune with the original scriptures. Only then it should be shared with the world. It is worthy of being shared with the world. When you choose your Guru, first option, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original shastras, the source of the knowledge, who is having Atma Pramana and Apta Pramana, and who can make the whole thing as Sakshi Pramana. Understand? I may have 10,000 experiences, Atma Pramana, but whatever is in tune with the Apta Pramana, the original scriptures, revelations by Sadashiva, only those things are worthy of teaching to all the human beings. Only those things will become Sakshi Pramana for all of you, for the whole world. So, an important truth you need to know, no one can develop on Sadashiva. Do not go to people if they claim they developed. No. Don't become prey to the marketing gimmicks and immature ego of some of those great marketers, great advertisers. Marketing and advertising is a different capacity. The original knowledge source, being the reliable knowledge source, is different. Popularity does not necessarily guarantee quality. So do not be cheated. You yourself dig out, investigate whether what I am being taught is in alignment with the original Shastras, with the original scriptures. With all the joy and pride, I declare everything I am teaching is my personal experience, Atma Pramana, and completely in tune with Apta Pramana, the original scriptures and original revelations from the tradition. Understand? The second truth you have never been told about yoga is no one can develop. Do not fall prey for the stupidity of downward dog pose, inward dog pose, inverted tree pose. What nonsense is going on? Yoga cannot be developed and it is not secular. Let it be very clearly told to the world. If it is secular, if it is developed, have some other name. Don't call it yoga. Have the name Roga or Boga. Don't abuse the name yoga. Yoga has to be. Sadashiva very clearly declares qualification of a yoga teacher, yoga guru, who is qualified to teach, to be a guru, to be a master. He gives a clear description. He should have Atma Pramana and he should be completely in tune with Apta Pramana. Through the Atma Pramana and Apta Pramana, his own personal enlightenment experience and in tune with the revealed scriptures, he should be able to make the signs as Sakshi Pramana. Only that person is qualified to teach. Only that person is authority. Only that person is authorized to teach. If you just find the right source, 99% of the work is done. Now you can declare your success. You can declare your victory. You can declare your completion. You can declare your fulfillment. You have a right to celebrate your victory. Finding the right guru, 99.9% job is done. Because the remaining work, making you enlightened, is not your job. It is his job now. Only finding the right guru is your job. After that, making you enlightened is his job. So 99.99% work is done. The moment you find the master who has personal experience and who is in tune with the original revealed scriptures, through both, who makes this whole as a reality and experience for all of you, find the right guru, 99.9% work is done. Because the remaining work is. You may say, why I am keeping 0.1%? You have to continue to be with him. Just for that 0.1%. Don't get down from the train. Just for that. Understand? Truths need to be told as truths to you, even if it is a little painful. You might have developed your career in yoga and yoga teacher as yoga guru for 40 years. If it is not true to the original scriptures, please drop it today. Drop it today. Align yourself to the original scriptures and then restart again. That's the best thing you can do to you and to the students who are sitting in front of you. Understand 200-hour courses, 500-hour courses, 1000-hour courses. When I see all these boards, I can't control my laughter. When I was 3, I was given away to my guru. He accepted me, adopted me, and it took almost 15 years for him. Only when I was 17 and a half, he said, now you are a declared yogi. You can start teaching. Just before leaving the body, he blessed me and authorized me. I thought, then how many hours yoga training it would have been? So understand, the second important truth you have never been told about yoga: yoga cannot be developed. You can't develop on Sadashiva. You can't develop on Sadashiva. It is unfortunate. The original scriptures revealed by Sadashiva is not available for mass. It's unfortunate. Nobody promoted that because it is very easy to secularize Patanjali, very difficult to secularize Sadashiva. Understand, yoga was originally promoted in the modern world more by the people who are interested in digestion and stealing the best things from Hindu tradition, not by the people who are interested in the original knowledge, the original source. People who promoted yoga in the modern day, they were more interested in digestion and adoption, not interested in source or the original science. Patanjali is digestible into the secular stomach. Sadashiva is poison pill. You can't digest him. You can't digest him. If you try to swallow him, he will swallow you. Try to swallow him, he will swallow you. Understand? All the stupidity, marketing, commercialization, all this, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but I wanted all of you to know the time for all this marketing, good, bad, discussions, debates about why marketing is necessary or not necessary. People have their own arguments. Without marketing, yoga would not have become popular so well. Without the dilution, yoga would not have reached the whole world. All these you guys can go on talking. All the debate time is over. Now it has already become popular. Come on, it is time. Let's get back to the original source. Even if we have tolerated for the sake of reaching out and all that, the job is done. Now, let's get back to the source. Job is done. We already popularized the word. Today, International Yoga Day. Whole world is celebrating. All the countries, without a single opposition, voted for International Yoga Day. It has already become one of the largest festivals celebrated in the world. So understand, we have done popularizing. Now, the next important job is getting back to the original source. That is why I have happened. I happened to bring the integrity and authenticity. Let us do responsible enriching by being integrated and authentic to the original source of yoga, the Yoga Pada of Agamas, directly Sadashiva's own words. Let us be integrated and authentic to that, and by being integrated and authentic to that, let's bring responsibility in our enriching. We are enriching the whole world with yoga. When we are putting so much of energy and intelligence and resources enriching the whole world with yoga, we should be responsible for being integrated and authentic to the original source. To the original source. Understand? Unfortunately, the original source was not available, popularized to the world. It is time. When the original scriptures, Vedas, were hidden into the ocean by the demon, Hiranya, Varaha Avatara happened. Vishnu took the incarnation and brought those scriptures out and revealed it to the world. Now it is my responsibility, collecting it from all the corners of the world, wherever it was secretly lying, the original agamas, the yogic scriptures, and gathering it, revealing it to the whole world, and making it available to the whole world through the internet. We are successful in collecting more than 3 terabyte original material on yoga. Revelations by Sadashiva. And we are scanning everything, cleaning it up. Today we are ready with 600 megabyte original material. Scanned palm leaves, revelations about yoga by Sadashiva and his direct disciples. Today, it will be offered to the whole world, copyright free. You have a right to copy. I am declaring it as copyright free, and you have a right to copy. If you are copying, not only you are welcome, you are celebrated. The third important truth you need to know, which you have never been told about yoga. Please understand. Yoga is not just the science of keeping you healthy. Yoga is the science of radiating enlightenment. It is not just for ability to stretch your body, it is ability to manifest what you want. Yoga is not all about making you better man. Yoga is all about making you Superman. Don't follow something which makes you better man after 35 years. Do something which helps you to reveal, radiate powers immediately. Please understand, do not have patience with your practice. You have been given wrong instruction. Have patience with your practice and continue for years. You will have result. No! Don't wait for Godot. If you have been asked to wait for Godot, you are being cheated. Yoga is a powerful alchemy system, gives result as immediately as you start. If somebody says, no, practice this for years, you will get the result, you are being cheated. That is not yoga. The quality of yoga is, even if it is practiced little, brings tremendous result immediately. That's the science of yoga, original intention of yoga. Day 1 should bring results. By month 1 should manifest powers. If not, question the teacher who is giving you, question the system which is given to you. Understand? I am interested in revealing your SDHD to you, self-doubt, self-hatred and self-denial, but I am not interested in riding on your SDHD or exploiting you based on your SDHD. No. Revealing it to you is different, riding is different. Riding means, because you have this problem, you need to practice 12 years, then you will have result. That is exploiting your SDHD. Yoga does not need so much of time. If yoga needs so much of time, the fellow who is teaching you is not yogi. Understand? If he has Atma Pramana, personal realization, personal experience, and he has the knowledge of Apta Pramana, the earlier master's revelation, he can make it into a Sakshi Pramana, reality for you, as immediately as yoga is started. It is much more immediate than any science. Alchemy is more immediate than any chemistry. And Gita beautifully says, Svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. Neghabhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate Svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. There is no loss in effort, nor there is any harm. Even a little of this knowledge projects the best things in you and protects you from great fears. Understand, yoga is as immediate as any chemistry. Yoga is more experiential and immediate than any of your so-called falling in love at first sight. If you have fallen in love at first sight, how that is as immediate, yoga is much more immediate than that. You need to know these basic truths you have never been told about yoga. With this, I wanted to reveal all the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva and his direct disciples. Please understand, I will not make the mistake of declaring all the things Sadashiva revealed is available now. I will not make that mistake. But whatever is available now, by the grace of Sadashiva, I'll make sure they don't die, they don't get lost. We will collect, organize, and publish it, share it with all of you. Till now, whatever we have collected, all these are copyright free, belongs to whole world, and will be uploaded today in our Hinduism Now website, where all the Hindu scriptures are revealed and shared. I have a huge list, around 600 megabyte material, which will be uploaded freely for all of you today, for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach you. Keep them integrated. Keep them integrated. It's your responsibility. You are so active when it comes to keeping the politicians integrated, because they are handling your money, taxpayers' money. Same way you should be active to keep the gurus integrated to the original scriptures, because they are handling your whole life, much more than the taxes. Who handle your taxes, you are so involved in keeping them integrated, but you are not questioning the gurus who are handling your whole life. Understand, let the politicians not cross the constitution. Let the gurus not cross the scriptures. Let the politicians not cross the constitution. Let the gurus not cross the spiritual constitutions. Once the scriptures directly delivered by Sadashiva are revealed to the whole world, once you all start reading, you all are exposed to these scriptures, then we don't need people who develop kriyas, who develop techniques, who develop yoga. No, no need. We have enough of people. Sadashiva himself has given. So you can't develop on Sadashiva. Let's abide by Sadashiva. Let's abide by him. That is enough. And bowing down to Sadashiva, surrendering at his feet, and all his disciples, and all the great people, beings involved in keeping this whole knowledge, experience current alive on the planet Earth, bowing down to all of them, surrendering at all their feet. I am revealing whatever is shared by them and kept alive till now on the planet Earth to all of you back again. Now it is in the form of the original palm leaf scanned. Soon you can expect the various language translations of these scriptures Please wait for all those translations. It will be soon available to all of you. But the original scriptures will be revealed, shared with you all today on this International Yoga Day. So here I am offering symbolically the original manuscripts, the scanned printouts of the original manuscripts. So by revealing this to all of you, symbolically, with Sadashiva's grace, we are sharing this whole thing with the world. It's almost 600 megabyte material. Vadulagama, Sarvajnanottaragama, Tripada Artha Nirnaya, Achapa Gayatri, Siddhanta Shigamani, Shivayogaratna, Vyomavya, Siddhanta Sharavali, Mrigendragama. It goes, the whole list goes on and on and on. Revealed directly by Sadashiva and written by Sadashiva's direct disciples. So, bowing down at the feet of Sadashiva, surrendering myself at the feet of Sadashiva, I am sharing his knowledge to all of you with the whole humanity. Let the humanity be enriched by his knowledge, by his blessings, by his grace. We will also have yoga teachers training directly from this original authentic source. You will be taught these original verses and the asanas and kriyas and the practices. So, you will be a perfect teacher as Sadashiva wanted. As Sadashiva wanted. My blessings to all of you by the grace of Sadashiva. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.